hit up Yvette. This is Melanin. Please stop doing that. Can you stop? Ugh. I'm not usually grossed out, but I'm grossed out right now. Can you stop, babe? Can I tell him?
Go ahead. I want to tell him. It's my story.
Lights, camera.
Action.
All right. No headphones for you, or?
Oh, I forgot about headphones. I'm so out of practice. Look at us sitting here recording an episode. Hello. I don't like how I sound. Is it just because of the...
Yeah, the acoustics. It's a little echoey.
I'm going to turn myself down in my head.
Okay, yeah.
Hello. My name is Mrs. Melanin.
And I'm Beleaf Mel.
And we're here with episode 227 of
How Married Are You? Okay, my name Beleaf. This is Yvette. We married 14 years. Then in California, we got 4 kids. Relationship scary. It's very necessary. We share our love and struggles. We ask how married are you? Every Tuesday and Thursday, shawty. If you're listening, you're in the wedding party. It's okay if you want to put your hands up. You got the questions. We got the answers.
It's chocolate baby story time.
Chocolate baby story time.
It's chocolate baby story time.
1, 2, 3, and...
Chocolate baby story time.
Speaking of the chocolate babies, you will hear them because they're playing horse in their room, in the kids' wing. Yeah.
So guys, look at us. We have been MIA. We tried to start back up. When was that? I don't even know when.
You were in Maryland.
No. In July we posted an episode and y'all probably were like, oh shoot, they're back.
We posted 4 in July.
Oh shoot, look at us. Yeah, but multiples of those were from when we recorded when we were still at the old house.
Oh, okay.
Anywho, what I'm trying to say is we did it, y'all. We did it. We have figured out a setup, because the setup we had the last episode we shared with you guys.
This ain't no chocolate baby story time. Go ahead.
Oh.
We'll get back to it.
Okay, we're out of practice, but hold on. I'm just saying the setup we had before was not practical because we would have to set up and break down each time. And I didn't understand that until Glen really explained it to me, because I was like, let's just record, whatever. But now this feels so much better. I feel like we have a setup that we can pull this backdrop down. We have the camera mounted. We got the mics mounted. And we could push it away and still be able to do school. Because we're in the this is the studio / office / classroom.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Space. So we are definitely learning how to, what's the word? Maximize our space in this season.
Yeah.
Where we are. However, let's do chocolate baby story time.
Yeah.
This morning
Chocolate baby story
I was having a
time.
moment, and so I went to Anaya and I was like, baby girl, I promise to do all the work that I can do in order to be the best mom that I can be. And when I make mistakes, I promise you I'm going to apologize for those mistakes. And if I don't, you have my full permission to call me out. And she was just looking at me so dumbfounded. She was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm so committed to these children and the work necessary to be a healthy version of myself.
Yeah.
And so she doesn't get it now, but one day she will get it.
Yes, she will.
And that is totally fine. I'm fine with her not getting it now. She's like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I was like, I know. Just give me a hug.
So, man, I'm going to kind of do a 2-in-1 thing. So we celebrated our 14-year anniversary in August, right? We went on a road trip. We we bought an RV because that was really important for us.
We purchased an RV. It sounded like you said brought.
We purchased an RV. I don't like you telling me how to say my words.
All right, keep going.
So we purchased an RV, and I still corrected it and did it how you say. And then we went on like a little RV trip, just a quick one, just to knock the dust off of me, because I was like, man, I don't even know if I really could drive this thing like that. You know what I'm saying? For some reason, I was feeling very insecure and scared. And so the crazy thing is, we did all that, and we did it on our anniversary. And our kids found out it was our anniversary, and Anaya coordinated everybody to make us breakfast, which was a packs of seaweed and nuts.
Yes.
And they made us dance in the RV,
which I had no problem doing.
And they were just like, just all giddy. And then Naya would just out of nowhere go, now kiss.
Oh my gosh.
It was so cute.
It was the best.
Yeah. So that was like our little anniversary trip. Mm-hmm. Really beautiful time. Mm-hmm. Not balling at all. Mm-hmm. We were closer to trailer park people during that trip for sure.
What do you mean by that?
Like, you know how like you think about it, like 14 years, such a big moment to celebrate. It seems like we should have been in Jamaica, or you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But this season of life, and I think we are experiencing the deepness that we thought we would. Mm-hmm. And I think, we're just right there, and the kids are right along with us, and we are having good times. Mm-hmm. Definitely making core memories for our children, which I'm not mad about at all. And I'm pretty excited for what's to come. But we do have some announcements.
Yes.
We got merch coming, y'all.
I should have worn my shirt.
We got merch coming. Now, last time we went on, we did merch. We did a merch drop. It was like really important for us to have stuff on time. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that really bugged me was like we did a drop in I think May, and we didn't end up. People still didn't get their stuff until like August, or sometimes as late as November. And it was supposed to be like a 2-month turnaround or something like that, or a 6-week turnaround. And it was something that was really hard for me to put my name on. So I was like, I don't need these type of problems. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need my word to not be true. So I just was like, you know what? I'm over this. I don't want to do merch right now. I don't feel like I have the capacity for it. And that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, I think. You know what I'm saying? And I think I'm the type of person that if I can't do it right, I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? And so a lot of times I'll just be like, all right, I'm done. You know what I mean? So we have finally got an infrastructure and a system that works really well. Our person is local. We're shipping right from our office in Vista. So we are really excited about this new process. We got some colorways coming out, some different stuff that you guys haven't seen, but you have heard. You have heard some of the slogans. So be sure.
Show them the back of yours. Or are you trying to keep it a secret? Are you trying to build suspense? What you trying to do? Sneak peek. It says, equipping, inspiring, and giving hope. And that is
it's part of our mission
statement. Right.
Equipping fathers, giving hope to mothers, and inspiring children.
For Beleaf in fatherhood, that's our mission statement.
Yeah. So, we are loving this new process and this new season. But let's stop. Let's go ahead and hop into an email. You want to hop into an email, and we'll get to that later.
Okay. All right, here we go. Hi, Glen and Yvette. Hope this finds you well. I'm sorry, this email is long. Please feel free to summarize. Just to say firstly, so this person is like, they want Glen. And I want y'all to leave it in the comments below.
Wait a minute. That's weird. Why you say that?
No. I'm about to finish it. They don't want Glen romantically. They want Glen lyrically. Never mind.
They want me to rap?
It's getting worse and worse. They're saying, okay, so let me just read the email. Goodness gracious. Just to say, firstly, thanks for everything you guys do as a family and individuals and your team. I've been a fan since Beleaf in Fatherhood season 1, which is still my favorite season. Still waiting on Glen to release Somebody Woke Up on the Wrong Side of the Bed song.
Wow.
Anyway, to the point of the email, which is what I was trying to say. Like,
Okay.
they wanted you to release the song.
Got it.
Is it like an actual track, or you just did a voiceover on the video?
You know, when I'm making the videos, I just write what comes to my mind. And like, it's not a full fleshed out song. It can be a snippet or interlude in an album. And maybe I'll do that. But
I could totally see that being a sound on TikTok or Instagram that goes viral.
yeah.
Somebody woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
Yeah. I was old school. It was 2015.
Yeah, that's an old song. All right, here we go. We're from the UK, aged 28 and 29. We've been married for 5 years this summer. We have a 4-year-old. When we were first married, I worked full-time and hubby was a full-time international student. I worked till maternity leave and he finished his degree shortly before I gave birth and he began working. I resigned from my job after maternity leave, which was around 2020. I hated my job. The whole team I was hired with left and my daughter was only 10 months old. Plus, we all know childcare is expensive. We managed on one income for a while now, but recently we are definitely feeling the squeeze, but have been actively moving towards our financial goals and increasing our income. Now hubby is still working full time, but working on his logistics business with his friend, which is almost ready to be up and running, hopefully before the summer. I'm currently working a few hours a week with a charity doing social media and also making the beginning steps to create an income stream. We're both creatives while hubby leans more entrepreneurial. I've been thinking of applying for another job to help with our income while these businesses become a reality and to help us move house. We have wanted to move for a long time. We've outgrown the house. The city I grew up in and creating community has been a challenge, even while being part of a church. I feel disappointed looking for a job again because I felt I held it down before and during the start of the marriage. Though I understand when starting a business, plans and timelines can change. The other issue is I want to homeschool this autumn. Hubby is open to it, hence why I'm thinking of a temporary job. I feel like I am having to compromise my values because life is getting hard or real. Is the baby 10 months old? Okay. Our daughter goes to preschool for a half a day, 5 days a week. If I do work another job, she would basically do 5 full school days, government funded, from age 3, depending on employment. This isn't what we wanted, but with finances being tight, it could be temporary.
You gotta make them words bigger, babe.
Okay. Am I struggling?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm like, sorry guys.
It's all right.
It all feels like so much pressure, and I feel like with each season I have to question my values and desires. Should I even aspire for homeschooling anymore? We don't have family around to support and never really have. We are coping but think we are subconsciously burnt out, proven by how much screen time our daughter has. I am a good mother, but I often feel I am not the mother I wanted to be. I want to be better, but I feel I haven't got much left to give. I feel the lack of planning at the start of our journey is just leading to more hard work, but having to sacrifice the good things and good values. I'd understand if I had to sacrifice materialistic items for financial security, but why do I have to sacrifice my time and my child being home, even if temporary? I really hope you can make some sense from this email. What are your thoughts for younger couples who are starting out and stumbling through, trying to juggle it all without a village? I really appreciated your podcast about your journey of moving houses and renting. I know your journey has not been linear, but it's been beautiful to watch and be inspired by. I appreciate the vulnerability from both of you as parents, especially you, Yvette. Looking forward to hearing from you more on Yvette Unplugged. Thanks for reading and answering if you do. Praying God refreshes you as you do his work. Ooh.
That was I have bad news for her. Mm-hmm. You know. Mm-hmm. Do you have news for her?
I think I know what you're gonna say.
What am I gonna say?
Put that child in child care.
Oh,
What are you gonna say?
no. I was going to say that you're always,
Ugh. Sorry about all the deodorant.
I was going to say you'll always be struggling through it.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, from 1 kid to 4 kids or 2 kids. Bless you. You'll always be kind of figuring your way through it. And I don't know if it's going to feel like you're doing it right ever.
I would agree. I think that parenting guilt is a real thing. And it's something that I don't know if it's something that we can really ever, in my 11 years of parenting, I have not reached a place where I have not felt guilty as a mother for some decision that I've made or how I'm navigating parenthood.
And you're a phenomenal mother.
Thank you, babe. You're a phenomenal father.
Wait. Do you receive what I'm saying?
I said thank you.
I know. But you thank me for a compliment. But even if you said I know, I would accept that because you are a great mother. You know that?
I know that I'm a very intentional mother.
Okay.
I think I'm a good mom.
Say more. You're a very intentional mother.
I feel like I'm about to cry. Why is that happening? I'm not hormonal right now. I feel like I am a good mother. I don't know what to say.
All right. So do you feel like you're consistent? Do you consistently love your children? Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you are giving them things that they need?
Yes.
Do you feel like you're giving them things they want as well?
Yeah.
Do you feel like they will be greater in life experiences than you?
Most definitely.
Do you feel like they have a understanding of what it takes to be a parent?
To a certain degree, I do.
So if I describe that, right, and I would say, like, what does it mean to be great as far as doing anything, right? Like, you're intentional, you are giving the people that's coming after you a better experience, you are equipping them very well, you're inspiring them to be, great at whatever they decide to do. You know what I mean? Like, you're consistently loving them. Really, if they changed anything about themselves, you would still love them the same. Mm-hmm. So it's like, why isn't that great?
Mm-hmm.
So
I think what happens is, like, she has this idea of who she wants to be as a mother. And I think we all have these ideas of who we want to be as a parent or not be. Some of us are like, it ain't for me. I'm not even going to try, or I just don't have that desire to be a parent. And I think that type of self-knowledge is really important and valuable. I think in my own experience, there are degrees to which I'm like, okay, this is success as a mom, or this is really what I want my motherhood to look like for my children. And if we don't get to experience it exactly as we've envisioned it in our mind, then in some way we're losing or we're failing. And I think that is what's happening here, is that she's not in a place of financial freedom to live out the lifestyle or the vision that she had in raising her children in this moment. And what I would say is, to her in particular, is I feel like I'm in this like area in this season right now where it's like, okay, just make the next right decision. You know what I'm saying? And the next right decision isn't necessarily always the most favorable decision, but it's a decision that does move you closer to where you're trying to get to. So for example, I know you would rather be home with your daughter, right? It's a girl. Yes. I know you would rather be home with your daughter and schooling her yourself. And you know, it's interesting. I don't know. There's so many varying thoughts on this because I just got triggered by a woman on social media recently. Remember that?
Which time?
I recently got triggered by a woman on social media because she was, it felt to me, she has a conviction to homeschool, and she was like outside or whatever, and she was watching all the kids like line up ready to get on the school bus, and it felt like she was judging them, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all because I do feel like some of us don't have that option. Like
homeschool is a privilege.
It's a privilege. Homeschooling is a privilege. Even if you are making a financial sacrifice to homeschool your children, it's still a privilege because that's in some form or fashion, you're still able to live. Like you're still able to have a livelihood. And for you right now, like I'm not necessarily saying what to do in this instance, but I am saying this is worth taking a real look at what is possible. Can you afford to stay home? If you stay home with your child, are your lights going to be turned off? Are the things going to be like, are you going to be sacrificing basic needs for you, for your child and for your family? And I think there's two conversations here. It's like, okay, yeah, if I do stay home with my child, this is a risk. This is something that could happen. But I think for her, it's also a matter of, I've been holding it down for a while. Like I've held it down in various seasons of our relationship and of us building our family. At some point, I want my husband to match my energy. And so I think that there are two conversations there. And I think we as women, and I don't know if she's black or white or what, and there's other ethnicities out there too. But speaking as a black woman, I think that there is this thing that we have, and I honestly don't even know if it's just a black woman thing, but I think there is this thing in us as women where it's like, we're going to make ish happen. Like by any means necessary. And I know that you've experienced that from me, unfortunately and fortunately.
Yeah.
It's a kind of a double-edged sword there. But I know we have this thing where it's like, okay, you're not going to do it. Fine. I'll do it. Like, even if it's resentfully doing whatever we have to do to make stuff be taken care of or get done, we'll do it. And so, yeah, I don't know. I just think there's two conversations here. And so there's one conversation where it's like, okay, like how close is he? Are there some things, and she already mentioned that the timeline can change or whatever, but are there some agreements or like terms we can set into place that gives him enough time to really like get through this last push with his entrepreneurial pursuit while I work in order to get me home? You know what I'm saying? Because having her in for the whole school year versus having her in for like 6 weeks or 3 months is a whole different sacrifice.
We were just on your brother's podcast, The Table, and we were fortunate enough to be able to do life with Anthony. He's an amazing individual, and it's just awesome to see what he's grown. But we were talking on the podcast about our situation and how we were there too. And I'm not trying to bring this up, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just quit your job and kind of are they on the trampoline?
Are they outside? Look and see.
I didn't see
the ring, because you don't have the Ring camera on the doorbell.
I can't see from
Where
here.
is the doorbell camera?
It's right there. All right, listen. So they sorry that I'm just trying to get your attention. Did it hurt?
It didn't hurt. It's just that my watch is fragile. I might need a new one.
Oh God.
I don't want a new one. I might just want a regular watch, to be honest.
Okay.
Sorry.
So yeah, so we were on a table talking to Anthony, and we brought up when you quit your job, and I just had to figure it out. I do not like those type of decisions. I didn't like that position. I didn't like anything about it, right? And I'm not trying to encourage you to quit your job. I think that
She's not quitting. She currently has a part-time job that she works that's like from home, remote. She does social media, and she's considering getting another job.
Oh, don't do that. Why would you get another job?
To help with finances.
Well, I mean, money, resources change. Like you have those bright ideas too.
What? Say
like
more.
Yvette will be like, babe, maybe I should go. You want me to go look for a job?
I do.
And I'm like, you know how many problems that's gonna cost me? Like, you getting a job is gonna cost me more problems, cause more problems than solve anything, because the financial issue is on me, but there's some things that we got to figure out before I can run forward. You know what I'm saying? Like taxes.
That's a sore spot for us right now, y'all.
Right?
Yes.
So, like, it's just things that's kind of like, all right, well, I got to figure it out. And I don't move as quickly in making decisions as Yvette does sometimes. And she's like, well, I can go get a job. My homegirl said, I could be a flight attendant.
I vaguely remember saying this. That's so crazy.
It was like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Homegirl said I could be a flight attendant. I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. She's like, and then we could get free flights and fly around. I'm like, yeah, but we not going to have you here. You going to be flying around.
No, I was thinking it could be more of a part-time position. He don't get it. He be traveling?
I don't get it, baby. I don't be traveling like that.
The thing, and so for me, you don't. It's weird because it's like at one point you're not traveling for a while, and then you just have back to back to back to back. You're gone.
I maybe go on 10 flights a year. I am not traveling like that.
And so anyway, for me, and I think for a lot of us, it's not just. I don't think it's just women. But for me, I'm like, okay, because entrepreneurship, come on now. Raise your hand. Give me an emoji.
Entrepreneurship, not
whatever.
entrepreneurial.
Whatever. Entrepreneurship? It's not entrepreneurship? Sorry, that's funny. What was I saying? Entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart. Mm-hmm. And I never in my heart of hearts imagined that I would be in this place. While it is a tremendous blessing to us to be able to have the freedom that we do have in this lifestyle, it is still a really heavy burden. And that's because there's so much to learn and navigate. The world is not designed for us. It's not designed for us to be able to live life like we do. There are systems and there are institutions, and we are supposed to be tied to those things, such that health insurance is supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you are working for an institution or a business or organization, then health insurance looks a whole lot different than when you're an entrepreneur. Taxes look they're easier to understand, and well, you
ain't
know,
gotta understand it, just take it out.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. And it's like, there's so many different things that we have to navigate and like think about that we wouldn't have to necessarily fully think about if I was still an educator. So when I say things like that, it's like, okay, and then you don't have to go chasing after invoices being paid.
Yeah, and let's talk about taking all 4 of your kids to the dentist.
We just took the kid. Now, we see, these are the types of moments where I'm like, I suck as a mom. Because, y'all, Uzi is 5 years old, and he just went to the dentist for the first time. Anaya, I feel like maybe she's gone once. But I don't even think she's gone once.
She has.
She's
gone before, yeah.
The boys have gone a couple of times in their 10 and 11 years of life. But we do not take our kids to dentists once a year or every 6 months or whatever. And so that was like one of those things where I'm like, ugh, this is so shameful. And it's mostly because after I stopped teaching, we didn't have those types of benefits, and ish gets expensive. We took our kids to dentists. It was $1,000 $64. And then it could have been more.
We need an insurance sponsorship.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Or we need, like, I think also there are conversations that entrepreneurs need to be having about how are they navigating these types of things, because there are HSAs that we could probably have as well to make these financial obligations a lot less. Whatever. We have to do a little bit more research.
And then you find out the kids got cavities, and I'm crazy.
Oh yeah, Glen
So
was insane. He's like, okay, we're not having any more fruit snacks.
No more fruit snacks.
No more gummy bears.
You're not getting it. I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Even though we still have a whole box from Costco left in this house.
We do?
Well, I mean, it's all in the thing. But we got a lot of those. Anywho, the point I was trying to make is that I have these moments of frustration with like taxes and health insurance and all the things. And I'm like, you know what? I'll just go work for the man. Like, let me just go get a job. And at least we know we have a steady check coming every once a month or every 2 weeks. And we have health insurance. And at least we got that much, right? And Glen's like, nah, sis, you're actually going to cause me more headache than anything. And then at the end of the day, I think about it and I'm like, I actually make more money as like doing what I'm doing currently than I ever have as a public school teacher.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, that's stupid. Like, why would you do that?
I think it isn't stupid if you're thinking about the peace of mind.
Yes.
Right? If it's
true.
about peace of mind.
Yeah.
If you were like, hey, for my mental health, I'm going back to work. I'm sorry. I can't do this. I got you. If that's what you need to do for your mental health, then cool. You know what I'm saying? But the truth is, we are homeschooling parents. This is a different lifestyle. We do live 30 minutes away from the nearest business. So where you gonna go work?
My commute would be
crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different thing. Or you could work from home or whatever. But sometimes like resources change. I think you should pursue the lifestyle you want. I'm always asking Yvette, what do you want your life to look like? She has never answered me, mind you.
Have I never?
I always ask Yvette, what do you want your life to look like? Because when you figure out what you want your life to look like, then you can build around it and say, yeah, I don't want to work part-time, or I don't want to work another job. I want to teach our kid from home. I want this to be our life. How are we going to make this happen? What's the timeline? I want to be doing this by the end of next year or in the next 2 years. Our daughter's going to be 3 or whatever the situation is. When she gets into preschool, I want to be doing homeschool. So that means you have freaking 3 months to get your first contract. You know what I mean? Like, you have to work backwards in that sense. I love this season so much because 6 years ago, maybe, you probably heard me saying the same stuff Yvette is saying on here. Like, I can't just do the stuff. I got to learn it too. I'm like in college and running a business at the same time. It's ridiculous. And so to now be like, at least we're on one accord, you know what I mean? And we are understanding each other, speaking the same language, and we both desire different lifestyles, and some of the part of this lifestyle, like, I think it's wise for me to be stay at home like I am. Like, as much as it doesn't feel right, what are you looking at me like that for?
I was just thinking that when I first quit my job, it's not funny, but it's something I do. I laugh. It's a mechanism. I don't know. Anyways, when I first quit my job, I thought our life would look like it looks now. Yeah. And it looks like it took 7 years for it to get to what I imagined it looking like 7 years ago. So I was looking like that because I was like, oh, wow, look at how long it took.
Yeah. It took 7 years to get back to square one.
Back to square one?
Yeah, the foundation. Like, me at home, you at home. We're both working. We're both helping the kids. We're both, just this couple weeks ago, I started teaching, or last week. And Yvette looks so frustrated watching me teach. She's always been like, you're going to be a great educator. You should go to and she's like, you need to be trained. Like,
it's not frustration. It is. It's not frustration. Glen is just so freestyle. And I have like plans, like I don't necessarily want to be completely driven by curricula as far as when it comes to homeschooling our children. And I also have curricula that I'm using. And so Glenn kind of feels like he's the enrichment teacher or like the extracurricular subjects. And I am the actual teacher, you know? Not saying that if you are an extracurricular teacher, you're not a teacher. Don't get offended, please. But what I am saying is that Glenn freestyles a lot and I need us to like regroup. So I feel like him and I need some PLC meetings, if you know that language. Anybody know that language out there? In order to move forward with the kids. I tried to just give him history and science, but he all over the place.
Well, we don't have the tools yet for history and science. I need yes. I need the Constitution books, and then science is gonna be the lunar phases of the moon and stuff like that. So, but I feel like I'm doing okay with Uzi and Anaya.
Baby, you're doing a tremendous job. You're doing so good. What I love about Glenn is he brings the fun, and he also he just brings the energy, especially to subjects. I was noticing the other day, I was like, I get really excited when it's time for math. Yeah. But all the other subjects, I'm not necessarily as excited about. And Glenn seems to have that energy for all subjects. So,
except math.
But you also... And I love the other thing I love about Glenn is that because he has an awareness of what the kids are learning, he is able to pull it in just our regular life, which I like and appreciate too.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah. You're a great teacher.
Thanks, babe.
You really are.
I appreciate that. So look, I feel like there are, I think there are reasons to homeschool. We've talked about some of them. I posted a TikTok recently on, great reasons, right? And I need my phone if I'm going to bring that up. Sorry, my stomach is growling.
Mine too. I got to go potty.
What? I'm hungry.
Oh.
That's what it means when your stomach growls.
Mine is rumbling.
Okay. Yeah. So... just for you guys who might be interested in understanding why we homeschool, because people, after I posted that video, people are like, why? What are the reasons, right? So one reason is cultural appropriation, right? So because we are Black people, cultural representation. Sorry.
I was like, what? Where's this going?
Mark that. Okay. So one of the reasons is cultural representation, right? We're Black people. We love our children to see Black people. And sometimes that doesn't happen when you go to a traditional school. The U.S. is predominantly white, right? We are 13% of the population, which means that if you bring that into the classroom, there's going to maybe 2 other Black kids there. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, all Black people don't black the same. Mm-hmm. I'll just say that, you know what I'm saying? And usually I say all N-words don't N-word the same. That's my favorite phrase. But it does allow us to look at things from a Black perspective and also bring Black history in, not just in February, but all throughout the year. Mm-hmm. Mental health, right? And emotional safety. Homeschooling can create a safe, nurturing environment free from racial bias and microaggressions, right? I can't even count how many times I've been looked at as you seem like you're getting aggressive or something like that. And I've even seen it at the playground when, a little white kid throws sand at Uriah and Uriah's frustrated, and then his mom will go, he seems like he wants to hit him back. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, just built in microaggressions that we don't even know we have. I'm sure this woman didn't, do anything like that on purpose. I'm not, I don't really care about her or her feelings. I'm just saying that's stuff that's ingrained in us. And I'd rather not have our children's first experience with education be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? And mind you, homeschooling was something that I was mostly cared about because I grew up in a rough public school situation, Baltimore County Public School, and I was exposed to a lot of things I needed not to be, right? And I don't trust anybody with my child's mind as much as I do with us, right? I know that school is amazing, right? School is beneficial and it teaches you a lot of things about accepting other people and learning and socializing, making friends and listening to authority and, just education in general. But, it's also a business, you know what I'm saying, with numbers. And if you're not learning a certain way, then it gets a little bit harder to accept you for who you are, to appreciate you, and to look at you in a good light. The kids that are smartest are the most favored, I think. You know what I'm saying? From my experience, I'm not saying that's what you believe, because I know were a public school teacher, math teacher. Protection from the school to prison pipeline. Now, I don't know if you notice how public school is set up, but basically, you sit in a room, right, and then you are allowed to free time, right? Sometimes recess during the day, right? And even the way that the bells ring and you operate in lines and all that stuff, it's very formulaic to how prisons are ran. You know what I mean? And so that's my belief. You know what I mean? I do believe there is a track for people to understand how to live in a system. And I like the more freer education. I'm a learner by doer. I'm a learner by watching, and I learn by doing. So if something's in a book, I can find it, right? I can learn the necessary words, but I'm going to need to actually practice it in order to learn it. And sometimes it just doesn't happen, fast enough, you know what I mean, in traditional school systems. But I know that Black kids are kind of ushered into this, system to where you will learn to work for others and you will learn to obey. And I think that, just because the school says so, or never mind, I won't get into that. But family bonding, right? So homeschooling strengthens family bonds by allowing us to spend more time with our children. Beautiful thing we saw.
And for them to spend more time with each other.
Yeah. And the cool thing is sometimes Yvette will just break out and do a game in the middle of the day. You know what I'm saying? Or even me teaching Uzi how to make a smoothie, and I'm asking him, what sound is the letter? What letter does banana start with? Or, what's inside the seed? What does the seed look like? You were just learning a lot. And I think even though that kind of qualifies more as unschooling, right? I'm not saying that we're doing that, but it does allow me to be a little bit more creative in just learning through conversation and learning through activity. And so the one pushback we always get when people go, oh, I never homeschool my kid, or what about socialization? That's what they always say, what about socializing? And I do think that socialization is important. We have to be a lot more intentional. Yvette does a lot of play dates. It's harder to do it out here. But what's cool is that, man, God has given us proximity to other kids that live kind of like we live. You know what I'm saying? And there are other Black families. So, just recently we had the Bennett gang living on the property. And this isn't our property. It's a property we're renting, but living on the property up top. And then we have other friends and family that, kind of come around, friends really, that come around and we do life, right? And so when we were in Maryland at your brother's, we got together with another homeschooling family, 3 boys, 1 girl, just like us, and they all played together, And so that time, though it is not consistent, it is treasured and valued when we are able to have it. That's the beauty of homeschooling. And so if you're interested in that, man, I'm going to just tell you right now, hit up Yvette. This is Melanin. Please stop doing that. Can you stop? Ugh. I'm not usually grossed out, but I'm grossed out right now. Can you stop, babe? Can I tell him?
Go ahead. I want to tell him. It's my story. I got chickenpox, y'all. I don't currently have chickenpox, but I had chickenpox. And now I have markings of chickenpox, and I'm trying to see what I can do to make them go away. And Glen is upset that that's not for me, is it? Glen is upset that I'm peeling them off because they're leaving. Never mind. It's a whole thing.
It
but
is not cool.
Glen is grossed out by me, and I'm sorry, but these children, they brought in the germs.
Yeah, and usually you get chickenpox from school.
Yeah.
But I think we got it from the Big Bounce in Baltimore.
Well, no, I think we got it when traveling back home.
Oh, okay.
Because the Big Bounce happened way, the first day we got there.
Oh, okay.
So it says that it takes like 3 or 4 days to show up on your skin like that.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
we were there for 11 days.
Yeah.
So I think it happened while we were traveling. I don't know what we did the last couple of days that we were in Maryland that would have done that, but yeah.
Anyway, yeah, socialization. We got to be a little bit more.
Oh,
Just wait until we're done.
okay.
I'm sorry.
But-
It's distracting me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, I'm done.
He was basically saying, if you have questions about homeschooling,
Yes.
hit us up on social.
Yvette
Hit me up on Mrs. Melanin on Instagram. I am on TikTok, but I don't really be on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Also, I am curious. I really am curious if you are a Black family that homeschools, because I have been having some conversations lately that have been, like, giving me ideas about how to connect us all. And so I kind of want, I'm in a place where I feel like I'm leaning towards doing it, in some capacity or form. And I just wanted to see who's out there. So if you are somebody, maybe email me at info@YvetteHenry.com, to let me know that you are a Black homeschooling family, or even that you are homeschooling Black children, because I do know that sometimes people are adopting Black children. Because I don't know. I feel like there's not, when we do have homeschooling like meetups and opportunities, our children are still a minority in the group of people. And so I would love to create more opportunities for them to connect with other children that look like them, who are also on the same educational journey, or not even same, but a parallel educational journey in the form of homeschool. So that is that. I do want to, I like to wrap things up with a pretty bow, because she is saying, I don't know if we answered her question, but basically what we want to encourage you to do, I think Glen's encouragement, I think I can get in alignment with Glen's encouragement as far as, what do you want your life to look like? And how can you do that given your current state of existence? I also think that for my therapist, and I have actually just worked through something recently where she was like, because I'm constantly like, oh, I'm failing, or yada, yada, yada. And she's like, Yvette, maybe the question is, what does success look like in this season? Mm-hmm. And so I do think if we approach things more on that scale of season by season by season versus like in life, I think it's just a whole lot. It's more doable, or it makes it more attainable. And so for you, I think a good conversation to have is, what does success look like for me in this season? And then work from there in order to create some form of success.
Yeah, I think I heard a therapist say that you have to look at your life like the stock market. Like, it's always trending up, but sometimes you have ups and downs, right? But it's always trending up.
That's a really good analogy or picture.
Steve Lewis said that.
All right, babe, how married are you?
All right, I'm gonna say this. Okay, so we did like a eating practice, and we changed like our eating habits for like 20 days, and that food was tough to consume. Got to chew it a lot. You know what I'm saying? It was like raw vegan. It was tough, and I hated it. And then 10 days in, we were like, let's just do vegan, right? And y'all, I was cooking these mushrooms. I was making the shiitake.
Oh, I thought you were gonna cuss. I was what the heck?
Shiitake mushrooms.
Yeah.
I was putting them in a, I made, what is it? Hearts of palm noodles in a miso
You were cooking.
sauce
You were cooking.
with the tomatoes and the spinach on it. I'm like, man, I need some mozzarella, some basil. I know that mozzarella isn't a part of it, but I was like, this is a good dish. And I was making these meals for Yvette. And yeah, I was killing that. So how married are you, babe?
Well, I've been keeping a list because I just wanted to make sure I was ready for this moment.
Jeez.
But there was one morning where Glen left his water bottle on the bathroom counter. And so I picked it up and I was going to give it to him, but I realized it was pretty empty. So I filled it up with water. But before giving it to him, I set it down because you got to calibrate it. We have the water bottles that count every ounce of water that you drink. And so I ended up sitting it down so that it knew it was filled up, because I knew when I gave it to him, he would probably take a sip right away. But I was looking out for my husband.
That was really cool. That was really cool. So if you guys haven't heard about these things, these are Hydrate Spark water bottles. Mm-hmm. They have a little meter at the bottom that will like light up. It's not doing it now, but it will light up. It
probably needs to be charged
to tell you when when you need to drink, and also tell you when you filled up. Mm-hmm. So yeah. And that's just how married we are.